Hey, how's everybody doing? It's been a long time. It's probably been at least a half a year since I posted a video. I had a little flood in my basement. I went to Pittsburgh for the weekend to see Sleep, and while I was gone, we had awful rainfall amounts, and the flow on the sub pump got caught, and it wasn't emptying out, so it emptied out all over the floor. So I had to take all my records, all my shelves, everything out of the room, get new carpet, and then get everything back down. It's been a major hassle. It took me a while because I've been pretty busy. In these last 6 months, I don't know what I accumulated or what I've shown, but I'll just pick up a few things laying around that need to be put in the shelf and show you those real quick, and hope you like it. Picked up a used copy of A Blaze in the Northern Sky by Dark Throne. It was decently priced, so I went ahead and picked that up. Got the latest Ghost EP. Back in the late 90s, I was really into a band from Australia called the Powder Monkeys, if any of you heard of them. And they just released Time Wounds All Heals for the first time on vinyl. So I picked that up. Great record. I highly recommend it. Jurassic Park's second album, I believe. I picked that up. Found a used John Fahey on the cheap, so I went ahead and added that one to my collection. I'm a huge Eddie Glass fan. I think his years with Fu Manchu was Fu Manchu's greatest. Nebula was one of my favorite stoner rock bands. And his first band, where he was the drummer, Olive Lawn, I picked that up. Last week, or maybe even this week, Rise Above Relics put out a new album. Horse was says here from the 70s. It's for fans of Black Sabbath, Black Widow, and Pentagram. So had to pick that up. I love that Relics label. Picked up the Uncle Acid 7-inch, as well as the Dwarves Lucifer's Crank EP. Grabbed the new Red Fang. Great album here. Rufus Thomas. Picked up a used copy of that in pretty good shape. Black Cobra. This came out a while back. This might be on my last video, I'm not sure. And then Third Man put out 3 of the Melvins reissues. I picked all 3 of those up. This is probably the only one lying around out of the shelves now, but they also did Stoner Witch and Stag. Picked those up. Mingus, Charles Mingus. Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. Good price on a used copy of that. Beastmaker, kind of like a Sabbath worship band, pretty good. I recommend it. Had to grab the new Descendants. It's actually pretty good for their age. They're getting up there in age, but it's pretty good. And Wretch, formerly known or as Gates of Slumber. I love Gates of Slumber. So I highly recommend this. And you probably could tell just from the couple records ago, the artwork. Most definitely by the same guy. Queens of the Stone Age bootleg sounds pretty good. Found that really cheap, so I usually don't buy too many bootlegs, but it's one of my favorite bands, and it was really cheap. Boris with Merzbow. There's set 1 and set 2. They're actually meant to be played with 2 different systems at the same time, but can be enjoyed separately, which is the way I enjoy it, because I don't have 2 sets to play them at the same time in the same room. So always got to get the new Borises. Comments on Fire put a couple of reissues of their early albums out. I picked a couple of those up. Seven Sisters of Sleep. I grabbed this. This may be in the last video, I'm not sure. And everybody picked up the new Black Mountain. I know I showed that one last time. There's Comments of Fire I found used. They're like really early stuff. It's not even on a label, probably their own label. Meters, found a used copy for $6. Backyard Babies, one of my favorite Backyard Babies albums, was repressed. The original, I'm not even sure what country it originally was printed in, probably Sweden, but they were extremely expensive to get, like over $400. So I never was able to pick it up, but they reissued it and I grabbed it. Here's one of the other Melvins albums that's out. And another small stack, and then we're done. The new Black Tusk. Love those guys. Orchid, that's out. I was listening to it recently. I'm sure I've probably shown that already. The White Zombie box set. I won't go into it too much because it's been out for a while, and I'm sure a lot of other people on the vinyl community has already shown this off. But it's a great set. Numero always does a great job. New Saviors album. My favorite band of all time, Helicopters, put out a new 12-inch with a couple songs that they wrote years and years ago but just recorded recently. So hopefully that means they'll be doing a new album. I got my fingers crossed. The latest Cough album. And finally, they put an anniversary edition of Boris Pink out, and that's all I have laying around. I'm sure I have some other things that I've picked up in 6 months' time, although I have been slowing down. Me and my wife are expecting, so I've been trying to save a little money, but that's what I got. I'm still trying to get my record room all the way back in order. I like the new carpet, at least. But, yeah, so I won't try to stay away so long next time. Alright.